Hey guys, welcome back to the steamer trunk build. Man, this is just a whole lot of milling and parts, and so the first video was a little on the shorter side because I'm not going to show you all this milling steps over and over, but it was all of a full day of milling to do for these two chests. So with the milling done, there's still little pieces here and there to do, but we'll do that off camera. We're going to get going first on the walnut strapping. So those are 4/4 boards that have to be resawn. So we're going to get going on that first, and then we'll take them through the drum sander. Then we're going to come back and clean up the legs, and I'll talk more about the legs when we get there because we deviated from the plan on the legs. But we'll talk about that when I get there. So let's see if we can get a dry fit on a box today. That's our goal. So we're just going ahead and getting some sanding in on those strapping before we rip them down to size. While Chet's sanding, I thought I'd show you all the milled up parts with the tenons cut on them. So after about a day and a half of milling, I think we finally got all the parts that we need for each one of the boxes. We picked the grains we like for each box, kept like stuff together. So we got a little work to do on the legs. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then we should be ready to start dry fitting some of these boxes. So we've deviated from Rockler's plans. We've done it in a couple of places, but one of the places we did it was in the legs. And the plans, they wanted you to build the panels and then do a spline miter joint on the quarters. We just went with 8/4 material for the legs. So by doing this, obviously it gives us a perfect miter on the outside, so we don't have to worry about that. And it also gives us a built-in tray rest. So when the tray goes in, it's actually just going to sit on these 4 corners instead of another panel inside or another shelf inside for it. But to do that, I've laid out the parts, and we have to hog out that material and then clean it up with a chisel. So we're getting set up at the router now, and then we're going to just hog all that material out, and then we'll come back and clean it up with a chisel. So that's what's next. So we had a spare leg that we cut to do our practice on, and I'm set up with a 3/8 inch spiral bit, and we're just going to test this and make sure that our fence measurement is right before we go to the actual parts. That fence has got to go just a smidge closer. So we went ahead and notched the bottom, so it fits nicely into the legs. So there's our first sub-assembly, end of one cabinet. We're going to go ahead and get that glued up and just keep plugging away at these sub-assemblies. We'll do the ends first, then we'll come back and do the long sides. So there's all the end panels glued up. Got to let that glue cure. Then we'll get to sizing the bottoms appropriately and making sure everything's good to go there, and then gluing up the long sides. So the plans come with templates for the lid sides, the shim for the lock, and the tray sides, and the lid supports. So all I'm doing is gluing those down to a spare piece of the 1/4 inch ply that we had, and I'll cut those out on the bandsaw and get our templates built. So there's the first box all glued up. One more box to glue up, and we're going to call it a day for today. Get after it tomorrow.